defending the act of selling children. I have to say that the opposition team here has wrongly understood how we intend to sell children. Because sadly, they see that selling children that we are talking about from a business perspective. They consider children here as a product, not as a human. Whereas us, and I'm going to correct their understanding, we said that we are after legalizing selling children. And by legalizing it, there is a law. And when we say law, it comes from the government. And if it comes from the government, and it's called, again, law, it protects the rights. The laws are there to protect our rights, the children's rights, those who are favored, those who are not favored in our society. So the government is there to legalize the act of selling children, and the government is the main actor, and it's going actually to subside the phenomenon of illegal trafficking, because here we are giving an alternative, and people love their children. There is no parents, two parents on this earth who you would ask, do you love your children, and would answer no. Every parent on this earth loves their children, and therefore they are not going, if someone comes, if the black market comes and says, well, I want to buy your child because I want to use it for personal usage, like in prostitution and so on, and well, the parents then have an agency that is there to legalize the act and actually offering them a better solution, which is contacting families contacting other families that are ready to take that child like their own, because we have here parents that cannot produce it, cannot have children. So the alternative is there. And also another thing is that here we have the child who is going to be given to a family, and there's a whole process to follow. And if it's given to that family, actually an income will come from that, from this, and the income will go to the original family, and the original family with that income can use it to raise their children. And if that child has a better education, a better condition of life, it will be very grateful for the family who adopted him, and we are always attached to our roots. And he will go back to his original family, and at a certain point in his future, because at that time he will get a job, and he will have an income, and he will have all his family. So we have to see the positive thing of selling children, and not just saying that, oh, selling children actually is going to be an abuse for the child. We are going to just like we are not protecting the children's rights or something like that. Well, that's not actually the case, because there you secure the child's future and you secure his education. You give him a better opportunity to become a better person, and he will recognize that favor that the community and the government has done for him, and he will really look to do something back to his community, and therefore will be a positive, and he will participate in the community to make it a better community. And if he grows up, he will recognize that favor that has been done for him to adopt other children and do the same, and with that we will subside the degree of the poverty that we suffer from as a developing country and in other countries.
Point of information.
Yes.
Therefore, you are saying that no one loves a child better than his parents. How can you guarantee that another person, a stranger, can love him better than his own parents?
Well, we said in our model that parents will undergo examinations, psychological ones, and there are criteria that will be taken into account, And there is the foster family who is going to adopt the child, who is going also to be interviewed by the government officials. And if there is any kind of matches, the two families, the family and the child, will be there will be arranged a meeting between the two, and after that it will be evaluated, and it's up to the government official to decide whether to give them the child or not. Because here the main who are we talking about? We are talking about the child, and that's the core. That's the most important thing we have to underline here, the child.
Thank you. 15 minutes left.
15 seconds.
Please welcome the final speaker of the government or the opposition team.
Rim. So please welcome Rim.
Are you ready, sir?
Sir?
3, 2, 1.
You said sir.
Yes, are you ready?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think sorry, very sir.
No,
I'm just sorry. I'm sorry.
3, 2, 1, go.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to drag each and every one of your attentions to the fact that our dear opponents out here are trying to make selling look like a kind-hearted thing. Make it look like it is a favor, it is something generous. Make it look like I am doing you a kind-hearted favor by giving you my own child. I am giving that child a better opportunity. When actually it is not that at all. I am giving myself a better opportunity. I am being careless, I am being selfish, I am being an irresponsible person who shouldn't be a parent at all and in the first place. Then we have noticed that our dear opponents have made a kind of huge confusion since the beginning of that debate. They are talking about selling, adoption, and foster as it is the exact same thing when it is not at all. Adoption is the operation according to which parents get children without giving a dime, without spending any money. Foster is the government actually putting children in shelters, not the parent. So there is a huge difference between adoption, foster, and selling. So please correct your definitions. You are also telling me that it is for the child's good. How generous of you! How generous of you! I am glad to tell you that you have just been the main reason for 63% of youth suicides, 90% of behavioral disorder, and 80% of the next rapists of our society. Indeed, 63% of youth suicide is caused by being separated from your parents. 90% of all homeless, runaways, and children with exhibit behavioral disorders are from being separated from your parents. And 80% of rapists are motivated by the fact that they have displaced anger against parents that weren't even there. And these are all statistic comments from the Criminal Justice and Behavioral Committee. Then they have told us that we are talking about selling children from a business perspective. But when you are telling me that you are selling children because you don't have enough money to take care of that children, because a parent cannot afford to raise that children, this is a business perspective, and you are the one bringing it and not me. Whether for the parents, for the children, or both, it is still a business perspective you are giving me. Then you are telling me that poor families sell children because they cannot afford that, and that is the business perspective you are giving me. This family cannot afford me. That's your argument? You can't bear to take care of me as a child? Then why have me in the first place? If I am such a weight on your shoulder, yeah.
You are blaming people parents for having children. So what is your alternative to take care of the future of these children instead of just blaming them?
That's exactly my point. I am telling you that foster, adoption, and selling is not the same thing. Government gives you adoption, gives you foster. So when you are telling me that you are selling these children, you are doing it without the government's help. But if you are doing adoption, foster, you are already using tools that the government has given you for these children that have unfortunate families. Then you are telling me, as I was saying, then why have those children in the first place if they are such a weight on your shoulder? We have said, and we will always say it again, if you are not able to take care of that child, if you are not able to satisfy its basic needs, health, shelter, food, education, then if you are not able to provide a caring, loving environment, then don't have children in the first place. Yes. So when you give children to another family, these children are 4.6 times more likely to commit suicide. These children are 24.3 times more likely to run away, 15.3 times more likely to have behavioral disorder, and 15.3 times again more likely to end up in jail while being a teenager. If this is what you call a caring environment, then please correct your sentence. Honorable audience, we have shown you that selling children is never, ever a good idea because of its psychological damages, and I have supported their arguments by giving you even more statistics than my friend has given, by the immorality it contains, because you cannot be called and labeled as a parent if you are ready to give any time your children just because you can't afford to take care of them. I don't have enough money. Then why were you a parent in the first place? You are telling me that nobody chooses their parents, nobody chooses their lives. But well, let me tell you something. Parents do choose and do have a choice. And they do have a choice whether they can have the child and cannot. And if they cannot take care of him, then just don't have him in the first place. And this is why, honorable audience, dear ladies and gentlemen, this is why we urge you and we call for your support to vote for us and to dismiss this motion.